Good afternoon. My name is Jeffrey Legan. I'm the principal of Mayfield High School. I'd like to welcome you to our 118th commencement ceremony. Mayfield's first graduating class was in 1899. We have celebrated commencement at the end of every year except for 1905 and 1919 when we had no graduates. At this time, out of respect for our graduates and those seated near you, I would like to ask everyone who has a cell phone or any other electronic device which could disrupt today's program to take a moment and power down. Audience, please remain seated as our graduates enter. I want everyone to have a clear view of the class of 2018. Audience, please stand and join our graduates. Now to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Vice President of the senior class, Joe Wargo.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to call on the Salutatorian, Samantha Tam, to give the welcoming remarks. Samantha has an impressive GPA of 4.635. In the fall, she will be attending Johns Hopkins University, where she plans on majoring in biomedical engineering. For being second in the class, Samantha has earned the honor of being inducted into the Mayfield High School's Academic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Samantha Tam.
While it is only human nature to try to accelerate time, desiring the future to be in the now, savoring the moments of the present are essential to our collective milestones. These events do not happen independently, but are built from past experiences and provide the foundation for future experiences. When the class of 2017 graduated last year, we were ecstatic that it was finally our time. We were one step closer to graduation and to the next journey of our life. But looking back now, we realize that all the moments from May 20th, 2017 to May 12th, 2018 have been sewn together to make up our senior year. When we started kindergarten 13 years ago, there always seemed to be something more alluring than the present. Walking into school on Monday morning only to count down the days until the weekend. Starting each school year anxious for the days to pass quickly to reach summer break. It is only natural to spend our days thinking about the future and what it has in store for us, because the events in our lives are more likely to move towards one direction rather than another, accounting for the error of time. But each year, each day, is comprised of moments. Our individual moments have led us here, to this collective moment together. We must guard each moment because time is objective, never slowing down or speeding up regardless of what we want. At our 8th grade graduation, we could not wait to move on to high school, but it was still bittersweet as we left behind an environment we had grown so accustomed to. 4 years later, we now realize this moment has allowed us to meet new friends and form new experiences here. From our first day of high school, whether we are nervous or excited for a new phase of our life, to our last day of high school as we walked in with our caps and gowns to the honors assembly, we have spent 1,347 days together creating all of our individual moments. These moments have presented challenges, reflections, joys, and triumphs, allowing us to gain new perspectives and pursue different paths. Although 10 years ago, I never would have expected myself to be pursuing medicine, I discovered my passion when my grandma faced a dire illness. In the moment, I only wanted to escape from the present, but I now understand that this moment, along with many others, have culminated to provide a foundation for my future in medicine. If you have not yet discovered your passion, be vigilant and attentive to situations that may challenge you, but may also lead you to your next adventure. As we sit here together, moments away from our graduation, we must remember to live in the present. Today, we are surrounded by our classmates, our family, and our teachers that have guided us to this moment. We must remember to appreciate the people around us, be more mindful about our actions, and live in the moment instead of wishing away the present. We often overthink our actions and as a result lose track of the present. Although we want to control the future, we must realize that the future is unknown and there is beauty to that. Thank you, families and staff, for attending and supporting the class of 2018 as we embark on this new journey of our life. Here we are. Welcome to the 118th commencement ceremony of Mayfield High School.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Keith Kelly. Dr. Kelly is in his 6th year as a superintendent of the Mayfield City Schools. He is one of the most personable and compassionate superintendents I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Additionally, he truly cares about every student and is driven to ensure
of his family as we are a family. So if you would just take a moment. Thank you. On behalf of the Board of Education, administration, and staff, I would like to welcome you, families, staff, friends, and loved ones to this beautiful venue where today diplomas will be conferred on a graduating class of 2018. I would like all of those who have served or are serving in the armed forces, along with the police, fire, and first responders, to stand and be recognized. You serve as courageous role models for all of us, and we thank you. So please stand so that we can recognize you. Let's give them a round of applause. I would also like all of those who attended or graduated from Mayfield City Schools to also stand to be recognized, and I know there are many of you. It's almost the whole auditorium. And now finally, I'd like to ask all of the family members of our graduates to stand, and we certainly appreciate you and appreciate what you've done for us by sending your children to us for all these years. So all the family members, please stand. Now I'm going to ask for just a bit more audience participation here. So I want you to raise your hand if you are a parent of a baby boomer. Raise your hand. Okay, I know there are a few. Now if you are a baby boomer, raise your hand. I know I'm one. Excellent. Okay, if you are Generation X, and in case you don't know, that would be from roughly the ages of 39 to 53, raise your hand. If you are a millennial, raise your hand. No, graduates, no, hold on. Graduates, I have some news for you. You are Generation Z. So if you are Generation Z, raise your hand. There you go. Hey, you learned something today. The experts say that Generation Z is characterized by one belief, the belief that they can change the world. Now, I know this sounds cliche, but I, for one, believe it, and the evidence is right here in front of us, in this very theater. Consider, if you will, the tens of thousands of high school students expressing their right to learn without fear. Their message is well-researched, well-planned, and well-articulated. Our own Mayfield students sent their own message. The message was intentional, respectful, and delivered in a thoughtful manner. Jenna DePippo and Jose Mendez organized a walkout that had a purpose and a constructive outcome, resulting in hundreds of Mayfield students pledging 17 acts of kindness in honor of their student peers in Parkland, Florida. Generation Z is considered the pivotal generation. They were forward-thinking, yet they believe in the baby boomer value of work ethic. Elisa Benyaminova spent dozens of hours outside of school producing a video that depicts innovative learning experiences here at Mayfield. Her vision was to capture the relevance of creative and authentic learning, boast about a Mayfield education, and inspire other educators to follow suit. The video has now been seen by educators across our state. Elisa, I personally thank you. Giving back to the community is also a hallmark of this group of young people. Andrea Meller-Agno is an extraordinary young woman, a woman of grace and humility. For 3 years running, she has arranged for a local salon to donate beauty care to women who have suffered domestic violence, knowing that a manicure, some hairstyling, and some pampering would provide a few precious moments of feeling special. Generation Z is known for their propensities toward social justice. I think of Sam Sindelow, small but mighty, quiet and eloquent, a real champion for equity. Mark my words, as she grows in confidence, her voice will be one that will have a positive impact for years to come. But like many in her generation, her voice will not be associated with meaningless bluster, but with collaboration, problem solving, and a will to take action. This generation is entrepreneurial and prefer to be the employer, not the employee. They want to turn the hobbies they are passionate about into jobs. Two great examples. Justin Daher is working on establishing an augmented gaming reality business. And Anthony Favazzo and Carter Hefferon worked with the fourth grade students to redesign the library at Gates Mills Elementary for the purpose of turning it into an idea lab that supports both literacy and innovative thinking. Now, can you imagine the firm, Favazzo and Hefferon? Or maybe you guys can find out which name goes first. Mayfield graduates will influence change, not only for capital gain, convenience, and taste, but for purpose and meaning. They will demand that some greater good will come of their daily work. Those in Generation Z are more digital natives than the millennials. They prefer to learn at their own pace and discover meaning. They understand many professional business and market benefits of the digital age. This includes the field of education. To them, education is ubiquitous. Tyler Glicka is part of Mr. Legan's Student Advisory Committee. She is a persuasive advocate for anywhere, anytime learning, and has had a real influence on the administration's thinking about the self-paced learning options offered next year. Generation Z is globally minded. They are well-connected and are anxious to explore opportunities far beyond the boundaries of their communities. They are culturally curious and see strength in diversity. Kyla White-Kirksey is a young woman of tremendous insight and foresight. In her life, she will continue to be a champion for bringing people together. This generation doesn't assume the truths and absolutes in what they hear and see. Yanni Saris, a young man of many talents, a strong intellect, and a deep emotional intelligence, is a great example of this. He wants to know the whys and takes the time to look around the corners for potential impacts. His attributes and traits are indicative of what will be the next generation of great leaders. Finally, Forbes magazine describes Generation Z as resolute, smart, pragmatic, and hardworking. I would add family-oriented, caring, relational, and innovative, curious, and creative. The perfect description of our graduates and the perfect description of what it means to be a Wildcat. Congratulations, graduates. We are so very proud of you.
In keeping with the tradition of a student-centered graduation, our second student speaker is Jenna DePippo. Jenna is a president of the senior class and will be attending West Virginia University, where she will be majoring in digital broadcasting. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenna DePippo.
Looking back on our years here at Mayfield, we've been quite the guinea pigs. We were all itching to move into the next school in the 5th grade when they told us we'd have to wait one more year before we would actually get to graduate elementary school. Then came 6th grade and middle school when we voted on new team names, only for them to be changed back the following year. Later on, they got rid of the OGT and we were the first class to undergo park testing, 14 tests freshman year to be exact. Then they added the air testing as well, when they realized park was awful. But with all of these firsts over the years, there came many lasts. The last Friday football game and screaming our heads off in the stands. The last homecoming dance with your closest friends where you'd break it down on the dance floor. The last midterm exams of your high school career. The last time playing the sport you love. The last senior prom, the last day of school, until finally we're here. Although we have one of the longest school days in Ohio, and we might have complained about being here sometimes, none of us would be who we are right now without Mayfield. My fellow classmates, please take a moment to look at those sitting around you. Some of them have been with you for 13 years, and others may have come into your life more recently, but that doesn't mean they're any less important to you. In your life, you will never be as close with as many people as you are now. Your fellow classmates know a significant amount about you, and the rarity of that happening again with so many people is slim. But this is the time to reinvent yourself, as you will meet new people and make new friends. You don't like your image? Change it. You want a new reputation? Make it. This is the time to make mistakes, get lost somewhere, and find new faces. Change your mind and keep changing it over and over again. Fall in love. A lot. Make what you want out of this life, because soon you'll be graduating college and starting a new life before you know it, and the last thing I hope you have is regret. My end of the year this year was particularly busy for me. Lots of extracurricular activities and things I needed to do, but one teacher through it all continued to tell me, don't forget to enjoy it. We tend to get so wrapped up in our work and busy lives that we really forget to savor the memories and the good times we may not get again. Your next few years are going to fly by just as these 4 years here at Mayfield did. And although you can't stop time, you can live in the moment and love your life. So I leave you with a quote from law professor Michael Josephson. Take pride in how far you've come. Have faith in how far you can go, but don't forget to enjoy the journey. I love you guys. Thank you.
Our third speaker is Jose Mendez. Jose is the president of Student Council, and next fall he will be attending Cleveland State University and will be majoring in political science. Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Mendez.
I remember the first day I stepped into the high school. Walking in as a little ninth grader, feeling so small in a building that seemed infinitely large. I remember sliding in a sea of people as I raced to my classes in order not to get a tardy on my record. I remember sitting quietly in class and doing my work, going through my everyday routine, not missing a step. To me, everything had to be perfect. I had to be the kid that followed an exact schedule from 7:35 to 3 o'clock, and an exact schedule for the next 4 years in order to graduate with a 4.0 GPA and get into a good college and then get a great degree and then get a good job. And as freshmen, we all felt that. However, looking back on it, I feel a lot of us took those days for granted. It took me about a year to realize that these moments, the moments we shared during these 4 years, were moments to cherish, moments that would shape us into the people we are today and the people we will become. Thinking about the future is terrifying. It's scary knowing that in a few short moments we will get out of here and be thrown into the real world. There will be no more Google Classroom or tardy tables, no more hall passes or naps during study hall. It will be up to us whether or not we succeed, and thinking about that genuinely scares me. I remember talking to my friends a few months ago about how I didn't feel like I was ready for the real world. But when I look back through the memories I've made at the high school, I've realized that we are all more than ready to tackle the problems life throws our way, and not just academically, but in every aspect of life. The most important thing we can take away from high school isn't academic. Although grades are important, they shouldn't be the defining aspect of your experience. In a few years, our high school grades won't matter, but our experiences will. Personally, I have learned many different things from my memories at MHS. Playing the bottle flip game with squad at lunch taught me to be merciful because you never know when you're going to lose. Being in the band with Mr. Triber and Mr. Fancher taught me that being a leader isn't always easy, but the payoff is always worth the effort. French with Madame Burek taught me the importance of being cultured and learning about our global community, even though listening to the news in French was never fun. Student council with Mr. Torta, Miss Feeney, Bella DeJean, Tyler Klicka, and Joey Pribish taught me that there are always people who have your back, because even when you have pneumonia, homecoming can still be a success. Although in the moment, having a Gatorade bottle dropped on your finger or having pneumonia isn't fun, I now realize that those moments have shaped me, and I know that everyone here can think back to memories that have shaped them. Seniors, I want you to look to the people around you. Look to your friends, your acquaintances, your parents, and realize that these people have had an impact on your life. That having these people around you has been a blessing, even though we may not see it yet. To me, the future isn't scary anymore because I trust in the experiences I've made at MHS, and I know that those memories have more than prepared me for the long road ahead. I have faith in myself and I have faith in you guys. I know that we all can and will succeed in our own ways. We don't have to fear the future. We don't have to worry about following an exact schedule and doing everything perfectly because we are ready to make our own future. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Ilya Yatsishin. Ilya is our valedictorian and has an impressive 4.72 GPA. Next year, he will be attending Princeton University and will be majoring in chemical and biological engineering and entering a pre-med track. For being first in the class, Ilya has earned his place in Mayfield High School's Academic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Ilya Yatsishin.
Eight months ago, we were witness to a monumental moment, not only in our academic lives, but in the context of the world. Taking our first steps into senior year, we were braving the pinnacle of our Mayfield careers, both eagerly looking towards the future and recognizing the finality of our time here. However, in all of the commotion, we didn't see the greater forces at work all around us. On the seemingly ordinary day of August 21st, an epic phenomenon was taking place in the sky right above us. As the sun was reaching high noon in its path across the sky, an unusual sliver of black unapologetically intercepted its normal route. Against all odds and intuitions, the moon was eclipsing something 400 times its size and over 90 million miles away. But this unlikely event was no coincidence. The astronomical cycles and patterns that had produced such an awe-inspiring exhibition had been at work for millennia. In fact, it is because of cycles and patterns like these that we are gathered here today in this theater. And the result of their work, drawing out the extraordinary from the everyday, is the shining brilliance and talent I see for myself and you, the class of 2018. Looking back on our time at Mayfield, I can see that we have all grown so much in our last 4 years. Just when the tips of that daring black sliver kissed the sun, we were in our first days of high school, going through Wildcat Focus Camp and Band Camp, finding our way through the labyrinthian halls to get to class, and meeting our freshman year teachers. As we progressed, we challenged ourselves academically, extracurricularly, and socially by taking new classes, volunteering at events, and developing relationships. Now, as the eclipse is in its final phase, we are savoring our final moments of senior year at prom, senior banquet, and today at commencement. After 4 years that went by as quickly as the 2-hour and 45-minute eclipse on August 21st, the moon says its final goodbye, and we prepare to receive our diplomas. As we move forward, I remember the profound words of Mahatma Gandhi: "Be the change you want to see in the world." While many may see these words as cliche, too grandiose, or as someone else's responsibility, I see this potential to change the world when I look at our class, and I see that we are that change. We will set higher standards, break records, uplift society, and change the world. I see this capacity in every single one of you here, in the musical gifts of Jenna DePippo, Jason Gujic, and Justin Chen, the athleticism of Ben Braungart and Ripley Crossley, the poignant diplomacy of Tammy Sin and Shannon Biega, the civic activism of Molly Davis and Olivia Casey, and the compassion of Nadina Papavicio, Dimitri Lacco, and so many others. The time and dedication of all of us is what has brought us here, and it is what will enable us to become the leaders of tomorrow. But of course, our accomplishments would not have been possible without the tireless efforts of teachers, coaches, and educators who spend countless hours inside and outside of school, magnifying our light and aligning us for success. I would also like to thank my family and all of the family and friends gathered today for your constant and immeasurable support, igniting our fires and lovingly tending to them throughout our lives. It is because of our combined work that we can truly celebrate today. Congratulations, class of 2018. We will eclipse the sun and cast long shadows.
As most of you know, we have an outstanding music department at Mayfield High School. At the beginning of today's ceremony, you were entertained by our jazz band, as well as by Justin Chen. Now for your enjoyment, Jason Gujic, Kyle Anderson, Lauren Bell, Jenna DePippo, Abigail Kelly, Dimitri Lacco, Eliana Palkert, Annabeth Succi, Sarah Suntimer, Polina Yagusevich, and Margaret Zimmer will be performing You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen. Please sit back and enjoy.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? So let that lonely feeling wash away, 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh, someone will come running, and I know he'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. 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 There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone. If you only say the words from across the silence, your voice is heard. Someone will come running to take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. Will be found. You will be found. Be found. Down in the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new. All is new. Filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. 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 Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. When the sun comes streaming in, 'cause you'll reach
we will now have the traditional presentation of the colors. The class of 2018 will add their colors to the gavel and pass it to the class of 2019. Will the following students please step forward? Senior Class Secretary, Isabella Ciferno. Senior Class Treasurer, Ryan Evans. And spare coordinators, John Catalano and James Gaudio.
As Secretary of the graduating class of 2018, I hold Mayfield's traditional symbol of authority and leadership presented to our class by Adam Kukta, President of the class of 2017. We take pride in knowing the past, present, and future is in our hands. Our class spirit captains will now add our colors to the gavel.
For our class colors, we have chosen blue and gold. The color blue represents loyalty, trust, strength, and confidence. Gold represents wisdom, prosperity, and illumination. With passion, courage, and faith, let us go forward to achieve our personal success and fulfill our dreams.
May our colors of blue and gold find their place of distinction on this gavel, which was formed from a timber of one of our oldest school sites.
Bailey Ross, as president of next year's senior class, will you please step forward? Madam President, I would like to present you with the traditional symbol of your office.
Mr. Treasurer and the other officers of the class of 2018, on behalf of the class of 2019, I humbly accept this gavel. I pledge to carry out my duties so that our colors may find their place among the honored.
At this time, I'd like to acknowledge some of our students for their outstanding efforts and accomplishments. But before I do, I'd like to ask my secretary, Ms. Owen, and senior class advisors, Mr. Torta and Mrs. Feeney Sanson, to please stand. I'd like to take a moment to recognize them for the tremendous amount of time and effort they have put into planning today's ceremony, as well as other events for our seniors throughout the year. Additionally, I'd like to take this time to wish all of our mothers a very happy Mother's Day. And lastly, I would be remiss if I did not recognize my beautiful wife. I don't know what I would do without you. I love you. Graduates, as I call your name, would you please stand and remain standing until the audience recognizes you? Audience, would you please hold your applause until I signal you? In the area of scholarship and academic excellence, we had 6 students inducted into the Academic Hall of Fame. To be inducted into the Academic Hall of Fame, you have to be the Valedictorian, Salutatorian, a National Merit Scholar, a National Achievement Scholar, or a National AP Scholar. This year's seniors are Valedictorian and National AP Scholar, Ilya National AP Scholar, Jacob Raz. National Merit Scholar and National AP Scholar, Nadina Popoviciu. National Merit Finalist, Alexander Rollins. And National Merit Scholar, Alex Yu. To be a National Merit Finalist, students have to score in the top 1% of all students who competed nationally in the National Merit Scholarship competition. Students who score in the top 5% are distinguished as nationally commended students. We had 3 students earn this honor. They are Caleb Lardner, Andrew Rice, and Richard Sent. Audience, would you please recognize these students? Before I move on to other categories, there are a few more academic accomplishments that I would like to recognize. Staying with academics, Mayfield High School's AP Calculus team competes both nationally and at state-level competitions in the Continental Mathematics League. The top 6 scorers at your school make up your team. This year's team includes Ilya Yatsishin, Benjamin Braungart, Alexander Newman, Jeremy Sorkin, Andrew Whiteman, and Andrew Rice. Currently, Mayfield's team is in first place in the state of Ohio and ranked 13th in the nation. This year, Mayfield High School participated in speech and debate. It is actually the first time in over 20 years that we have competed. This year's team included senior Sarah Suntheimer and Annabeth Succi. Sarah qualified for the state tournament in the Lincoln Douglas debate. Annabeth placed 6th overall at the Kenson Invitational Tournament and 4th place overall at the Ohio Novice Speech Tournament. Olivia Casey, Margaret Zimmer, Molly Davis, Justin Chen, Cara Melorano designed a mobile steam bus and helped raise $25,000 for the project, which will be used to deliver innovative project-based learning to all students across our district. This group of seniors, Jacob Raz, Ilya Yatsishin, Stefan Rangelovic, Justin Chen, Nadina Popoviciu, and Samantha Tam placed 6th in the most difficult region in the state of Ohio's Regional Science Olympiad Tournament. Audience, would you please recognize these students? At Mayfield, we rank students 2 ways. We rank them on a weighted scale and on an unweighted scale. We do this because most of the top schools in the country don't care about a student's weighted rank. They want to know a student's unweighted rank. This data is always very interesting. On an unweighted scale this year, we would have a new salutatorian. Our new salutatorian would be Chloe DeBartolo. Since the 5th grade, she has earned only 1 grade below an A-. That grade, a B in 8th grade physical education. Here are a few students that made some significant jumps in rank. Hannah Fredrickson. Hannah jumps from 27th to 7th. James Gaudio jumps from 23rd to 9th. Alexa Pasafumi, she moves from 40th to 19th. 7 students who did not get recognized at the top 40 ceremony, but would have on an unweighted scale are Ethan McCullough. Ethan jumps from 41st to 23rd. Abby Florman moves from 65th to 25th. Alexander Menadio jumps from 55th to 29th. Lauren Irwin moves from 49th to 34th. Jacqueline Pollock. Jacqueline jumps from 52nd to 35th. Danielle Patterson. She moves from 61st to 38th. And finally, Seiji Lindstrom. He jumps from 60th to 39th. Audience, would you please recognize these students? In the area of Excel Tech Awards and Honors, Chase Augustine of the Information Technology and Programming earned a gold medal in Skills USA regional competition and was a state qualifier. Dion Ferguson of the Business Academy program was part of a team that earned first place at the Junior Achievement Titan Regional Contest and is a national qualifier. He was also part of a team that won 3rd place in the DECA district competition for Sports and Entertainment Promotional Plan and qualified to compete at the state level. Brittany White of the Medical Technologies program won a gold medal at the Skills USA Regional Contest in basic healthcare skills and moved on to the state competition where she earned a silver medal. Madeline Ween of the Culinary Arts Program earned a gold medal at the FCCLA Regional Competition in pastry tray and qualified to compete in the state contest. Michael Graziano and Cameron Kim of the Information Technology and Programming class both qualified for the state competition. Additionally, Michael won a silver medal in the Information Technology Services, and Cameron won a bronze medal in related technical mathematics at the Skills USA Regional Contest. Dana Frank and Hannah Lassiter, members of the Environmental Education Program, were part of a team that earned 4th place at the State Floriculture Contest. Dana also earned 9th place at the regional contest and 16th at the state competition. Richard Sent and Chase Augustine were both selected to participate in the highly selective Progressive Educational Partnership Capstone Internship. Maria Arth, Michaela Carbone, Giovanna Grand, Marley Mullaney, Angela Schaefer, Casey Kaiser, Maya Williams, and Julia Winans. These young ladies are all members of the cosmetology program. This past Tuesday, they traveled down to Columbus to take their state board exam. I am proud to share with you that all are now licensed cosmetologists. Girls, although I personally will never need your services, they will definitely get my recommendation. Audience, would you please recognize these students? In the area of attendance, when I speak to employers in the community, they often share their concerns about the poor attendance of their young employees. However, these members of the class of 2018 will make their employers very happy, and I have to share, this is an amazing class. Using a cutoff date of May 3rd, the seniors' last official day of class, these seniors had 3 perfect years of attendance: Norman Nago and Joseph Pribish. These 5 seniors, Julianne Curver, Ryan Kirby, Olivia Casey, Joshua Borovic, and Shannon Biega, they have never missed a day of high school. The following students did not have perfect attendance, but these 7 students have done something that no one else in the class has done. James Gaudio, Casey Kaiser, Cameron Kim, Megan McNelly, William Musi, Stefan Rangelovic, and Ilya Yatsishin have gone all 4 years of high school without a single tardy to school or to class. Alexander Newman, I didn't forget about you, Alex. He not only had perfect attendance in high school, he has only missed 1 day of school since the 5th grade. Lastly, I could not talk about perfect attendance without speaking about this student, Justin Chen. Justin had perfect attendance this year. Perfect attendance as a junior, as a sophomore, as a freshman, as an 8th grader, as a 7th grader, as a 6th grader, as a 5th grader. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin has never missed a day of school. Audience, would you please recognize these students? In the area of athletics, Mayfield had another successful year on the athletic fields. The girls' soccer team was WRC champions, won districts for the 4th time in school history, and competed in the regional finals for the 3rd consecutive season. The baseball team was recently crowned sectional champions and will begin the district tournament on Monday. Girls' tennis, boys' soccer, boys' swimming, and wrestling were all Western Reserve Conference champions. Girls' swimming, they were crowned sectional champions. And now to the individual highlights. Isabella Ciferno. Izzy was a swimmer and was a state qualifier in the 400 free relay in 2015. Allison Imhoff. Allison is also a swimmer and a 2-time state qualifier in the 400 free relay in 2015 and 2017. And continuing with our talented swimmers, Sarah Peters. Sarah was also a 2-time state qualifier in the 400 free relay in 2017 and 2018. Tyler Klicka. Tyler is a very special athlete. In soccer, Tyler was a Western Reserve Conference Player of the Year in 2017. and earned second team All-Ohio honors in both 2016 and 2017. What you also need to know is that she is also a national champion. Tyler's soccer team beat a team from Texas in the national final in Indiana, and Tyler scored the winning goal with a header. Because of this, she is affectionately known as the champ. Benjamin Braungart. Ben qualified for the regional cross-country competition in 2016 and 2017. Ryan Evans. As a member of the track team, Ryan was a Western Reserve Conference champion in the 4x800 meter relay and in the 4x400 meter relay. Zach Madawi. In 2016, Zach was a track state qualifier in the 4x400 meter relay. This year, he was crowned WRC champion in the 400 meter run and in the 4x400 meter relay. Caleb Lardner. This year, Caleb was a WRC champion in the 800 meter run and in the 4x400 meter relay. Maurice Monroe. In 2017, Maurice was a district pole vault champion. Bobby Casey, or to some of us, known as Bobby Cinco. Bobby placed fourth in the long jump in 2017 state indoor meet, and also earned the honor of being the 2017 and 2018 WRC long jump champion. In addition to this, Bobby is a WRC champion in the pole vault and the 110 meter hurdles. On Thursday, Bobby competed in the 300 meter hurdles for the first time ever, and yes, he finished in first, making him the WRC champion. Currently, Bobby has the #1 jump in the state of Ohio, and I have no doubt he will be competing for a state championship. Audience, would you please recognize these students? In the area of the arts, Jennifer Fraley. Jennifer earned an honorable mention in Scholastic Writing Competition in 2017 for her flash fiction submission, I Can't Stand Shakespeare, but sometimes he has a point. This year, she earned 2 other honorable mentions for her poetry, What Burns Faster, and for her flash fiction submission, After They Cut Down the Trees. Tyler Mitchell. Tyler also earned an honorable mention in 2017 for his science fiction submission, Emperor of Fortune. Lillian Harrison was recognized this year with an honorable mention for her short story, Love Lost That Was Never Found. Sarah Techmeyer. She earned an honorable mention recognition for her poetry, Sycophant. Nicole Christosic. Nicole earned a silver key in the Scholastic Writing Competition for her flash fiction submission, My Queen-Size Bed. Juliana Longano. Juliana was recognized with a silver key for her poetry, 12 Days of Christmas. Julianne Curver. In 2016, Julianne earned a gold key for her flash fiction submission, My Apollo. This year, she earned an honorable mention for her poetry submission, The Big Bad Wolf. Annabeth Succi. Annabeth earned a gold key for her poetry, Louis' Curse. In addition to this, she not only earned a gold key for her flash fiction, Flutter, but she also earned a national silver key for that same piece. To put this into perspective, out of nearly 350,000 submissions, less than 1% are recognized at the national level, and Annabeth was. Yanni Saris, Aliza Benyaminov, and Jared Siri. They have all been published nationally through SNO, which is the largest school newspaper hosting company in the nation. SNO features the best writing from all high school journalists across the country. Audience, would you please recognize these students? In the area of performing arts, Jason Gujic. Jason is not only the recipient of the John Philip Sousa and Louis Armstrong Awards, but he was also awarded a superior rating for 2 of his pieces at the Solo and Ensemble contest this past winter. Most notably, Jason will be attending the Berklee School of Music, which is one of the most selective music schools in the country. Sarah Suntheimer and Annabeth Succi. These 2 talented young ladies are members of the Cleveland Orchestra Youth Chorus Honor Choir, which is an audition group and comprised of Ohio's most talented choral students. This past Sunday, they had both performed at Severance Hall. Justin Chen and Alan Schwartzman. Both earned a superior rating for their piano solos at the Solo and Ensemble contest. Jenna DePippo and Dimitri Lacco. They both dazzled us as Ariel and Sebastian in what I consider to be one of the best musicals Mayfield has ever had, The Little Mermaid. And speaking of dazzled, Playhouse Square honors excellence in high school musical theater with Dazzle Awards. These awards are modeled after the Tony Awards and are presented to outstanding theatrical productions and performances. This year, Polina Yagusevic has been nominated for Best Supporting Actress for her performance in The Little Mermaid. She will be back here at the Palace Theater 1 week from today to find out the results. Tickets are on sale for $25 when you leave here. Audience, would you please recognize these students? For service to our country. At graduation, I'd like to recognize those students who have enlisted in the military or will be enlisting. It is our chance to thank them for their patriotism and for their service to our country. Francisco Hall. Francisco has enlisted in the U.S. Army. Raven Simpson and Matthew Stevens will be enlisting in the Marines. Avery Jolliffe, she will be enlisting in the Air Force. Audience, would you please recognize these students? For service to our community, Megan Agresta, Promise Gordon, and Juliana Longano and Sydney Paukert were instrumental in the organization and the overall success of our second St. Jude's fundraiser, which raised over $5,000. Most touching was the fact that more than half of this money went to one of our own students battling cancer. They worked countless hours gathering donations and making baskets for the event. John Catalano. First period every day for the entire school year. John served as a peer tutor for our students with special needs. During the first semester, he helped the students during their PE class, and second semester, he taught the students how to use technology. Ignacio Veloz. For the past 2 years, Ignacio has helped raise over $5,000 and several pounds of his black hair to benefit the St. Baldrick's Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research. Juliana Longano, Shannon Biega, Clara Graves, and Hannah Fredrickson. They organized an event to help fulfill a young girl's wish. The young girl is Kayla Hoover, and she's been battling cancer for the past 5 years. These girls made sure that they gave her an experience to remember. In the fall, they organized their team members from the basketball, cheerleading, and softball teams to attend an assembly because these are the sports that Kayla loves most. As Kayla entered the gym, they presented her with what Kayla has always wanted, her very own Letterman's jacket. I need to recognize Shannon Biega one more time. This year, Shannon earned the Presidential Volunteer Service Award, which is a national award. The award recognizes Americans of all ages who volunteered significant amounts of time to serve their communities and their country. Here are just a few activities that Shannon has been involved with. Helping to raise over $13,000 over 2 years for the St. Jude Foundation. Led the Perfect Paws cheerleading program, which allows students with disabilities to continue to be a part of our Mayfield family by allowing them to cheer at different sporting events. She led 2 blood drives, which raised 70 pints of blood. This equates to saving 210 lives. Through Interact Club, she volunteers at elementary schools, rakes leaves for the elderly, and cooks dinner at hospice. If that's not enough, she is a peer tutor, decorates student lockers through Cat's Cabinet, serves on the Principal Advisory Committee, and is a Wildcat Focus Mentor. Audience, would you please recognize these students? Other notable accomplishments and achievements, Maurice Monroe. Today is a very special day for Maurice. Not only is he graduating from high school, but today is his 18th birthday. Parents, it's often stated that good things come in pairs, and in this case, I agree. With these students, Abbas and Yahya Al-Naji, Aaron and Taylor Barclay, Elena and Gianna Demora, Adam and Youssef Uladi, Jennifer and Mary Fraley, Haley and Stephanie Glassman, and Andrew and Grant Rice. Students, thank you for doubling our pleasure. Brett, Brittany, and Brooke Feinerman, I did not forget you. Thank you for tripling our pleasure. Jared Siri. Jared is an exceptional young man. Throughout his high school career, Jared has been published 40 times in 4 years on the paw print staff. He was also employed by the News Herald as a field reporter. On top of this, he has one of the coolest jobs. He is a team attendant for the Cleveland Cavaliers, working every home game. He is the only person at the Palace Theater that knows whether or not LeBron is staying in Cleveland or taking his talents elsewhere. I don't want to spoil it, but Jared already told me he's staying, right? One more thing. He also works for the Lake County Captains as a visiting team's clubhouse manager. Not many 18-year-olds can have this resume. John Gall and Richard Sent. John and Richard have accomplished something that is quite rare these days. They have earned the distinction of being an Eagle Scout. In the past 19 years, only 12 students have been recognized for this honor. Julianne Curver. Julianne, thank you for your positivity, your enthusiasm, your kindness, and for your daily words of encouragement. Overall, thank you for making Mayfield High School a super sparkly place. Jenna Rock, Sarah Peters, Donnie Castellarin, Megan McNelly, Alexa Pasafumi, Nick Ferrito, Cara Melarano, Nicole Duxtansky, John Catalano, Ethan McCullough, Kayla Colacaro, and Hannah Fredrickson. They have all been accepted to one of the finest universities in the nation, the University of Dayton. I am proud to share this honor with you. Welcome to the Flyer family. Audience, would you please recognize these students? Students that inspire. Now, it's very difficult because throughout 4 years there are many great things that all of our students do, but I wanted to make sure that I recognize these two students. Andrea Melarano. As Dr. Kelly had shared, she single-handedly started an event called Haircuts for Care. This event occurs once a year and supports residents in domestic violence shelters. She was determined to provide women and children in shelters with a way to feel confident and empowered. The residents receive haircuts, washes, massages, and manicures for free, along with a goodie bag on the way out. Andrea has stated, I know that a haircut doesn't solve the issue of domestic violence, but people that fall victim to abuse oftentimes don't feel beautiful in their own skin. And to make them feel confident and empowered for one day is what Haircuts for Care encompasses in totality. What is even more amazing is that when she first started this event, she did not have any startup money because the foundation was not yet established. What did she do? She used the money that she got for her 16th birthday to help fund the event. Truly amazing. Audience, would you please recognize Andrea? Carly Stewart. Carly epitomizes the spirit of selflessness. In everything that she has done, she has always put others first. She goes out of her way to make sure that people around her feel special. Last year during Staff Appreciation Week, Carly wrote a note to every staff member in the building, thanking them for their hard work, and provided each staff member with words of encouragement. Another story that I need to share is a relationship that Carly had with a woman that she had met in hospice. Carly knew that this woman was in pain and was failing in her health. In March, Carly bought the woman a bouquet of flowers, which brought this woman much joy. In April, she bought the woman a coloring book because she knew this woman enjoyed creating beautiful pictures to give to those she was leaving behind. This woman was extremely touched by these random acts of kindness. So she began writing Carly a thank you note. The problem was that cancer grew too quickly, and she was unable to finish the letter. The woman's son found the one-sentence fragmented letter, and it read, Dear Carly, there must be an angel at Mayfield High School. No matter what is going on in Carly's life, you would never know. She always puts others first. Carly, thank you for blessing us with your special gift, your gift of kindness. I'd like to now take this opportunity to address the class of 2018 one last time. I must share with you that this is a very special commencement ceremony for me because you were the first class I had the pleasure of knowing since freshman year. I'd like to finish the opening message that I shared with you on August 18th, 2014, which was your very first day of Wildcat Focus Camp. There's a gift that I would like to give all of you. Now, this is not like Oprah's Most Favorite Things, where I can give you a television, a vacation, or a Lamborghini, and Joe Cook, I know you would love that. Take a look under your chairs. You don't see it. I should have told you that this gift is intangible, but it's so powerful. But it's so powerful that it will change your lives. This gift that I would love to give to all of you is a one gift that I one day hope that I could give my two beautiful girls. It's a gift of happiness. The problem with this is that I can't define your happiness. Can you define your happiness right now? A few weeks ago, I asked several of you, what does it mean to be happy? And many of you struggled with that question. Hannah Fredrickson told me, doing things you love and being with people you love. Megan McNally, not being able to stop smiling. Natalie Heichel, being content with yourself while doing what you love. Ryan Evans, listening to Jimmy Buffett on a summer day. Andrew Rice, living your life the way that you want. Andrew Clark, knowing that you are enjoying where you are at in life and finding positives in every situation. I need a little more reassurance, so I asked the most reliable source. I asked Suri. She gave me the name of a pop song released back in 2014. Class of 2018, today is the day to make a change. The day to begin your search for true happiness. Although I can't define your happiness, I can tell you what it is not. It's not about wishing away time. How many times have you said, I will be so happy when the weekend gets here, or I will be so happy once I graduate? We have been reminded too many times in the past 2 years that we need to cherish our time and enjoy every minute of our life. Don't take anything or anyone for granted. Oscar Wilde wrote, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all." Class of 2018, don't just exist and live like everyone else. Be exceptional, be extraordinary, and be relentless. Live every moment with passion, with enthusiasm, and with wonder. Dreams? I hope that all of you have dreams, but rather than talk about them, go after them. And when you fail, which you will, fail forward. Get up, brush yourself off, and continue on your journey. If others doubt you, let them. But in the end, be true to you. And once you do this, you will truly be happy. Class of 2018, thank you. It has been an absolute pleasure serving you as your high school principal. You are a remarkable group of young men and women, and I cannot be prouder of you. As I interviewed for this position, I was asked a question by Dr. Kelly, what motivates you? What is your drive? I also interpret that question as what makes you happy? Outside of my 2 children and my amazing wife, it is quite simple. In approximately 5 minutes, you will all know my answer, as I will have the opportunity to shake each of your hands as you walk across the stage. Class of 2018, your success and well-being is my happiness. Lastly, I want you to remember this. Soon, many of you will be on your way to college, whether it be Ohio State, Lakeland, Miami, or Case. And some will be going straight into the workforce or enlisting in the military. No matter where you are, no matter what you are doing, you will always be a Mayfield Wildcat. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call forward President of the Mayfield Board of Education, Mrs. Sue Grosick. Mrs. Grosick, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Mayfield High School, I am proud to certify that 351 students who are part of this class have met the graduation requirements as established by the State of Ohio and the Mayfield Board of Education. I ask that you accept them as qualified to graduate.
Mr. Legan, on behalf of the entire board, I gratefully accept the entire class of 2018. Well, this is a year that's different than most. This year we have 2 board members who have individuals graduating. And because of that, I would like to have Ron Fanaro and Al Hess come join me at the podium so that we can do a collaborative speech. Since there are 3 of us, we thought it was good to represent your journey with the 3-sided hat.
Put it on. Each corner has a significance. This hat was worn during the Revolutionary War. So the first corner, this one here, represents the revolution that you were born in, you grew up in, and you will continue in at a big part of your life, the technology revolution. The revolution that has and will continue to change our world forever. And
with your revolutionary change tools and your deep history of Mayfield, this is the launching pad. This is it. Congratulations to your future success. Godspeed.
There are a few business items that need to be addressed before we distribute the diplomas. First, it is an honor to recognize the Mayfield staff gathered here this afternoon. Mayfield is blessed with a staff of dedicated, caring individuals who strive to see that your children receive the best possible guidance and education every day. I'd like to ask the Mayfield staff to stand and be recognized. Parents, we have professional photographers assigned to take pictures. Please do not leave your seat. Each graduate will have a picture taken while receiving his or her diploma. Now, this is a very important request for myself. At some high schools and at many colleges, behavior during the presentation of the diploma seems more like a pep rally. However, this is not the expectation this afternoon. We still believe graduations are to be dignified, and the behavior here today should reflect that belief. Therefore, on Friday, I spoke to our graduates and I asked them to act with pride, and I asked them to give their classmates the proper respect and attention they deserve while receiving their diplomas. Parents and friends of our graduates, I know I cannot control your behavior, but I'm asking you to refrain from clapping, yelling, or cheering when a student's name is read. I know you're happy, but I want each student's name to be heard. It would be unfortunate if a parent came to today's ceremony and could not hear the name of their child. We are not looking to turn this into a cheering contest. Our graduates have earned this right, and they have waited a very long time for this day. Therefore, I want it to be special and dignified for each of them. We have a long tradition of having honorable and dignified ceremonies. It is something our community is very proud of, and it's something that the crew at the Palace Theater have told me separates us from other communities who commence here. Please cooperate with us, and please conduct yourself in a manner that reflects well in our community. Mrs. Perry will be reading the names of our graduates today. At this time, would the staff assigned to help with the distribution of diplomas please come forward? Audience, we are going to take a few moments to rearrange the stage. Once this is complete, Mrs. Perry will begin reading the names. Thank you.
The first board member to present diplomas is our board president, Sue Grosick. Jenna DePippo. Ilya Romanovich Yatsishin. Samantha Tam. Jose Daniel Mendez. Joseph Wargo. John Catalano, Jr. James Gaudio. Lauren Bell. Isabella Ann Ciferno. Ryan Evans. Nicholas Ryan Vecchioni. Nadina Popoviciu. Jacob Baraz. Alex Yu. Dimitri Lacco. Margaret S. Zimmer. Jason Gujic. Sarah Margaret Suntimer. Abigail Virginia Kelly. Kyle Allen Anderson. Elena Pockert. Anne Elizabeth Succi. Paulina Yagusevich. Jenna Rose Rock. Andrew James Rice. Isabella Rose DeJohn. Mia Adriana Adams. Megan Marie Agresta. Abbas Al-Naji. Yaya Al-Naji. Lennon Alvarez. Olivia Marie Amati. Justin Chen. Kaylin Anderson. Madison Andriano. Charles Andrew. Christopher Antonelli. Maria Arth. Chase Augustine. Jordan Bailey. Maya A. Banks. Aaron Barclay. Taylor Barclay. Isaiah Bell Hodge. Shannon Michelle Biega. Megan Marie Bissell. Jalen Blade. Joshua Borovic. Abigail Brandenburg. Aishiana S. Brodus. Benjamin Richard Browngart. Michael A. Brown. Jack Russell Buckbinder. Sydney Rose Bowman. Shahid R. Cade. Mia Elena Kane. Carrie Calkins. Gia Canavino. Bryant Caporelli. Michaela Ryan Carbone. Haley Christina Caranchi. The next board member to present diplomas is Vice President Ronald Fernaro. Allison Carrick. Acadia Elise Carl. Olivia Casey. Robert Casey. Don Lewis Castellarin Jr. Holden Caswell. Sophia Christopher. Andrew Clark. Peyton Cabin. Dylan Coffey. Kennedy Coffey. Kayla Colacaro. Olivia J.L. Compton. Joseph Cook. Marion Cooley. Marissa Corman. Joseph Carone. Zariana L. Covington. Ripley Crosley. Andrew Curl.